Eric Adams in New York City faces a $900 million racism, racketeering, and homicide claim. In a recently filed claim, which was served upon the City of New York on or around September 22, 2021, and later amended in December of 2021 by an African-American man by the name of Richard Thomas, it accuses the City of New York, the Health and Hospitals Corporation, Bellevue Hospital, the New York City Health and Hospital Police, a Bellevue Hospital employee by the name of Trisha, last name unknown, but the Director of Nursing, NYHP Officer Johnson, and an AOD employee of racism, racketeering, homicide, wrongful death, and additional charges. The claim arises out of multiple days of discrimination at New York City's Bellevue Hospital in Manhattan, New York. The claim accuses New York City, represented by the law firm of Heidel, Patino, Murphy & Bach, LLP, of multiple forms of discrimination upon Richard Thomas and his mother, Vesta Thomas. Vesta Thomas, who was a cancer patient, was supposed to be treated for her cancer by the gynecology-oncology department, but was told that treatment was out of the question. And on September 11, 2021, Vesta Thomas was found by her son in her hospital room with multiple head injuries. Vesta Thomas had injuries to the left side of her face. She had a black eye. She had a cut with missing skin on the outer side of her left eye. She had a gash above her left eye, which was on her left eyebrow, and she had around 4 butterfly stitches on that particular gash. And her left cheek was swollen. The patient's front tooth on the right side was also missing, and it wasn't only missing, but it was completely removed from the root of the gum, and there might have been more damage done to her other teeth and gums and the rest of her mouth. The patient, Vesta Thomas, was also in an altered mental state, and her blood pressure significantly dropped to very low levels. Her medical records indicated that her blood pressure was around 111/69, then hours later it was 86/72, and then hours later it was 65/34. And then she eventually died 4 days later on September 14, 2021. The patient's son, Richard Thomas, questioned the doctors and other medical staff about his mother's injuries, and he was told that his mother fell off of the radiology table on the previous day, which was September 10, 2021. When the son asked for video footage of the incident, he was told that there were no cameras in the radiology room. Thomas alleges that the City of New York is in violation of New York City human rights law, New York State human rights law, and the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act. Thomas is seeking damages to cover funeral expenses, possible cost of a private pathologist for autopsy, loss of a parent, any past, current, and future costs from state, city, and federal public assistance programs of the decedent, hospital expenses of the decedent, cost of all ambulance charges, cost of all fraudulent ambulance charges, which charge 2 ambulances with 1 person in one ambulance for $900 and nobody in the other ambulance for $1,200. Loss of any potential future wages from decedent, medical malpractice, homicide, negligent homicide, wrongful death, mental disability discrimination, race or skin color discrimination, dental injuries, facial injuries, lacerations, wounds, swelling, altered mental state, memory loss, trauma, adding more suffering to a cancer patient, pain and suffering of Vesta Thomas, emotional distress of Vesta Thomas, emotional distress of Richard Thomas, kidnapping, compensatory damages, and punitive damages. Thomas is also seeking injunctive relief preventing and prohibiting the defendants from engaging in present and future unlawful and discriminatory practices, removing the medical license and other state or city licenses of all doctors and staff in radiology and gynecology who took part in these unlawful acts and discrimination, and aided and abetted these unlawful acts and discrimination. improving the radiology table to prevent falls, or improving training of staff in radiology, seeking to place cameras in all rooms to prevent malicious or reckless acts by staff members. Thomas is seeking compensatory damages for all expenses and money to compensate the plaintiffs, punitive damages for the malicious disregard of the decedent's, Vesta Thomas, rights and life, and for the defendant's failure to provide protection from injuries, discrimination, and all unlawful acts, and for the malicious disregard of Richard Thomas's rights, and the defendant's failure to provide protection from discrimination and all unlawful acts, and the plaintiff asks the court to award punitive damages in the amount of $910,202,100.